In Kaduna, research shows that the ginger market is booming with about 30 tons produced and 70 to 75% exported.
We export our ginger to China and America. I'm so happy because as one of the major dealers, I urge my people to put more effort since we now access easy import process.
Exportation is now done with ease, as farmers say the inland dry port inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari has removed the stress of going to Lagos.
This has really cut costs for us, and it's been a wonderful experience since I started using the Kaduna Inland Dry Ports for export duties and all that. So for a while now, I've been using here. At least it's been less stressful. Instead of going to Lagos, it has been cut short for me, that from here straight to abroad. I don't need to go to Lagos. I don't have anything to do with Lagos. I come here, they give me containers, I stock my ginger, and it's taken abroad.
Now you have a direct shipment of all these goods, into the hinterland, and it brings the people closer to the port so that people don't travel all the way.
What that means is that the services have been upgraded, more facilities to serve the northern importers and exporters. It's a very good facility, and it will bring about more employment generation and wealth creation.
Custom has already given Kaduna a station code, which means it's an international port. The custom has trained the operators of the Kaduna port and integrated them into their NICES system, which is also significant. Many people are exporting and importing using Kaduna. The shipping lines, shipping companies are ready to issue through bill of lading or any transport instrument to process and fast-track movement of cargo from the seaport to Kaduna.
The dry port, one of the 5 approved by the previous administration, has the capacity to handle about 29,000 tons of cargoes yearly, and that is likely to double.
Since the port has been commissioned, we have seen a lot of impacts, and particularly as regards to exports. At least we are doing up to 10 to 20 exports in a day. And Kaduna Inland Dry Port has been among the ports recognized by the CBN. And now that has been approved, a lot of people have came to it. So I can tell you in the next 1 or 2 months, you see a lot of transformation here.
The Nigerian Railway Corporation, which is also very, very important, has pledged, about 20 wagons for exclusive use of the Kaduna dry port, which is very important. It has not materialized now, and this is one of the challenges we have. We are working with the Nigerian Railway Corporation to make sure that this is done.
Commitment to complete the Funtua dry port in Katsina State and that of Haipang in Plateau State is gaining momentum.
So I think this is a vista. This is a new horizon. We still have other dry ports coming up in Jos, for example, 75% completed. In Funtua, still working very hard, maybe 30%. Of course, they cannot all go at the same time.
As government intensifies efforts towards bringing shipping activities closer to the doorsteps of shippers, Key players noted that the drive to reposition the seaports is also producing results.
I think this is one of the things we must give to this government. They've been able to encourage private investors to partner with them to create opportunities. Allow the injection of technology, to application of technology to all this so-called complex process of port clearance, port management, and so on and so forth. Even hopefully in future, it will also enable custom itself to modernize, to bring in technology and to expedite clearing of goods.
Rehabilitation at the ever-busy Apapa Wharf Road, known for traffic congestion, is ongoing.
Poor accessibility of Apapa Wharf Road has been a major reason why importers of goods and services coming through this axis have been accruing a lot of damage on goods and services brought into the country.
I must say we appreciate the government for the road. They are working on it. I really appreciate it.
The past 3 years, this road is very, very bad. The hold up and every other thing. But now the way they are doing it is okay for us. We can get access down from Ijora, Olokba, Ijora, Badia, down here. It's very, very free now.
For easy movement of goods, the Nigerian Ports Authority is partnering with the Nigerian Railway Corporation to improve railway lines that had stopped operating several years ago.
In Nigeria, we have a system whereby I'll say 90% of the cargo is evacuated by road, and that automatically creates a congestion. That automatically creates a situation where our roads are bad. So there's a strong ongoing rehabilitation, construction of railways that the Ministry of Transportation through Nigerian Railway is doing. This is a very, very welcome initiative, and we're very excited about that. We believe this would go a long way in addressing the congestion in the ports.
The Nigerian Shippers Council and the Nigerian Ports Authority have introduced laudable programs and policies many said have brought about a turnaround in ports across the country.
We inherited a situation where there was no optimal performance across the board. There was concerns about the performance of the concessionaires. As you are aware, we have concessioned our terminals. We are running a landlord model of port operations, and we met a situation where the concessionaires were not paying the required charges and use as at when due. There's a huge indebtedness. There were some level of revenue leakages that we saw. Another critical concern was to do with lack of compliance to some of the legal relationships that MPA had entered into with third parties.
Ridding the maritime sector of corruption is a top priority vigorously pursued by the federal government.
What we did in this is to bring in this Israeli firm to try and train and put security equipment that makes you see our water from Lagos up to Calabar. So those who are doing all sorts of businesses and taking bribes and all that will be frustrated.
And very soon we'll deploy the cargo tracking node. This will minimize corruption. This will also make the procedure for cargo clearance very quick, so that there will be less dwell time of cargo at the ports.
There was a perception that MPA is a cash cow for political machinery, and being here now, we have completely, I would say, eroded that. Beyond instituting measures, what was needed was more like compliance of existing regulatory provisions, ensuring compliance of, for example, Procurement Act, ensuring that there's full compliance of the Public Procurement Act. There's also ensuring that all third-party agreements that we entered into are in the benefit of the federal government, the benefit of the citizenry, terminating contracts that were seen to did not comply to Public Procurement Act.
On the executive order on the ease of doing business policy, the federal government has positioned the ports to handle regional and international transport trade.
The seaport is now a 24-hour seaport. Before it wasn't 24-hour. we are working hard with the Office of the Vice President and Minister of Finance and Customs, everybody, to ensure that goods are cleared in 48 hours. By the time we reconcile our differences, we should be able to ensure that the what we call the National Trade Platform is put in place, where you can clear your goods as quickly as possible. What do you know about that?
And there are ranking by the World Bank, and the last ranking release made Nigeria to make a progress. And Nigerian Shippers Council is working with PBEC, in the ease of doing business issue. And we have been able to interact with especially the shipping companies so that their transactions are transparent.
Stakeholders say it is an interesting time for the maritime sector with many opportunities.
Nigeria is saying that our ports are competitive. Nigeria is saying that we have transparent procedures. Nigeria is saying that we have a level playing field for every operator. No operator will be given preferred treatment besides what is due them within their contractual obligations.
There's been a renewed interest in the maritime industry because it's better regulated, and now the regulation has a human face. We are integrating regulation with the viability of the industry. And so regulation is not to stifle business. Regulation is to ensure that people comply with standards, but at the same time ensure that the environment is investment friendly. That's, for us, that's the focus. Have we created an investment friendly regulatory regime? The answer is yes.
Revenue from the ports have increased because of efficiencies. Okay? Before, let me give an example of the turnaround time for ships. Ships that come to berth in Nigeria, they stay very long time, 14 days, 21, before they discharge their cargo and go. But now, because of the efficiencies, the waiting time is half a day. And success has been recorded so much now that Nigerian ports are gaining in efficiency. They are gaining in competitiveness. And it will just be a matter of time if we get our structure, our infrastructure, the road and the linkages to our seaports. You will see that Nigerian ports will bring out all the potentials that they really have.
Another milestone achievement by the President Muhammadu Buhari administration is the foundation stone laying of the $1.5 billion Lekki Deep Seaport by the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. This project, when completed, will further decongest the Apapa ports and offer enormous support for commercial operations across the country and West Africa. It is expected to generate about 170,000 direct and indirect jobs.
In the longer term, as we develop Lekki Deep Seaport, the proposal we have also on Badagry Deep Seaport will have the reduction in this huge congestion attributable to cargo evacuation in Apapa and Tinkan Island.
Analysts maintain that the success story in the maritime sector cannot be completed without the reforms at the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. The agency, which started with a rebranding process, is said to be better positioned for effective service delivery.
The federal government has done they've done the best thing that could happen to the maritime industry.
The Director General, NIMASA, Dakuku Peterside, says a digital transportation process to improve operational activities has been put in place.
The digital reforms that we're doing, we are automating all our processes so that everybody must not come to the head office of NIMASA to do whatever transaction you need to do. We're automating our processes, and so we're optimistic that in the next 2-3 months, we'll have automated all our processes. This will be the first time we're accomplishing that in recent times. Aside from automating all our processes, especially the integration of our billing system with operational platforms, so that anywhere in the country you can find out the status of your vessel. Then we are also connecting our satellite surveillance system with our other facilities. So on the touch of the phone, you can see vessels coming into the country, the state of the vessels. We have subscribed to a number of things, Lloyd's Intelligence, Clarkson, and all of these things.
With the training of seafarers and acquiring the latest equipment, observers are optimistic that Nigerian waters is now more protected from piracy and toxic waste.
We have designed, in terms of maritime security, we have designed what we call the total spectrum maritime strategy. That speaks to 4 important elements. The first one is that we have invested in intelligence, in satellite surveillance system, to get a bird's eye view of what's going on in our domain. The second is that we have also invested in hardware to build up our response capability, so that whenever piracy occurs within our coastal waters or our territorial waters, we can respond. What we have done in that is we've gotten approval of the Federal Executive Council to make some $195 million investment in acquisition of special purpose maritime aircraft, special purpose fast intervention boats, fast intervention interceptors. We are working with our partners in the region. We are all pulling our resources together, working as a region, West and Central African region, to tackle the issue of piracy. But we are focused on reducing maritime crime so that shipping will be safe and secure within our maritime space.
These achievements, many say, have placed Nigerian waters in an enviable position and capable of attracting foreigners to do more business in our maritime sector.
Online verification of certificate of competency to give it not only international flavor, international respectability. So today, if you have a Nigerian COC, certificate of competency, which makes you a qualified seafarer, anywhere in the world, it can be verified if it is authentic or not. We have improved on our flag state, coastal state, and port state functions. Flag state speaks to the fact that vessels that are flagged Nigeria are found to be seaworthy, and that they'll be found to be seaworthy anywhere in the world. Before now, vessels flagged Nigeria do not command the same respectability they command today. The second part of it are vessels calling at our ports. We have declared zero tolerance for non-standard vessels. And so in our port state, we have also enhanced our responsibility and in the discharge of our responsibility. So no substandard vessel can call at our ports. We have increased the number of inspections and the number of vessels that are certified fit to operate within our coastal waters.
For the people of Kogi State, the dredging of the Ajokuta-Onitsha waterways is a dream come true. The project has reached an advanced stage.
It's part of progress. The community are giving full 100% cooperation.
It will create a lot of job opportunity to our people.
The project, executed by the National Inland Waterways Authority, will ensure smooth navigation of barges and vessels. Minister of Transportation, Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, disclosed that the project has saved the country about 34 billion naira. He stated that the dredging of the Baro River port is almost completed.
Second one was the dredging of the water in Baro. You know, the Baro River port, that's almost ready. The turning base, where vessels are expected to turn, we need to dredge it. It's about 703 million naira. And we got the approval of the cabinet for that.
For key players in the sector, the National Transport Commission Bill passed by the National Assembly and waiting assent by President Muhammadu Buhari will make a huge impact.
The National Transport Commission Bill, which will create National Transport Commission, is a multi-sectoral bill or institution that will see, to the development of infrastructure. Secondly, it will, of course, see to the efficiency of transport infrastructure in terms of structure and services. Now, because of the inefficiency in transportation, you may find this will affect adversely the Nigerian economy. But if our structural transport services are efficient, then you'll see the contribution, of the transport sector to the economy will be more. It will look for competition amongst operators. It will also streamline the seamlessness of transportation so that all structure will be speaking with one another in total compliance with the cardinal objective, that is to drive the economy through transportation. So I think the National Transport Commission is going to be revolutionary, transformational, and Nigerians are right to expect it to bring just that.
By the time we leave by the second tenure, not the first tenure, because the kind of projects you have in the transport sector are not projects that you can finish in 2, 3, 4 years. So we expect that the Lagos-Kano project would have been finished. We expect that by the time we do the 8 years, the Lagos-Calabar rail project will also have been finished, and then the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri, which means you can go to different parts of the country, nearly the 36 states of the Federation, without having to come to Lagos or to Port Harcourt. So you can actually start off from Port Harcourt, and you want to go to Abuja. You get to Warri, you come down, join the train in Warri that takes you to Abuja.
And if you have transport system which is good, there will also be integration, of our various nationalities. It's the absence of rail that brought us these fractions and friction and the frictions, and if we have integrated transport system, then Nigeria will have, made it. And that is the aim of this administration. This administration is concerted, is organized, is going towards that. And the Nigerian Shippers Council, it's very much, behind, this progress we are making.
Within the period of our stewardship, we've introduced job descriptions for every staff. We introduced clear performance targets. We've introduced key performance indicators across the board. So we feel that while whatever you're doing, it's important for you to build the institution, because the institution is what would carry any attendant reforms that you have done. So we strongly believe in building a good team, providing the necessary and attendant welfare packages that would attract the best hands in the maritime industry.
Transportation can be described as the backbone of any economy with its massive opportunity. The Buhari administration has strategized to use the sector as a vehicle of accelerating domestic economic activities for innovation and wealth creation. This could be attested to by the budgetary allocation of the administration of the sector for 2 consecutive budget years. The rapid and steady development in the rail, aviation, and the maritime subsectors are justifying these expenditures. As the revolution continues towards transforming the country's maritime sector, stakeholders believe that Nigeria is now on the path of becoming the hub of a blue economy in the sub-region.